And we're back. Sorry, I didn't mean for this to have gone so long, but nonetheless, it has only now caused more space for commentary, for fodder. This has taken over. I don't even think we've even made mention of what's going on in Ukraine. It has overshadowed everything. Again, sorry, Will, but now you are this. And now in the history books of acceptance speeches, and they review them ever so often, now this is attached to your glorious moment that should have been a monumental milestone in your life that you could share and pass on as your legacy. I mean, again, it's not to tarnish your whole entire career. I mean, there are articles going up. I believe this website is called Shadow and Act, where they make mention that, you footed the bill for a good portion of the film for King Richard, and you made because I don't know if in terms of funding, but you made it a point to also welcome these new and precocious actors that played your daughters in the film. And you did all these great things. Yeah, played Serena and Venus. And I didn't even know, like, I didn't know a lot of backstory about them. And they are more or less in my age bracket. I knew when they were coming up, but the story in itself, and I didn't know that there were two of four children. And I didn't know too much about their mother as well, who was played excellent by Angelou Ellis. I'm a big fan of hers, and I've made mention on my channel. She was in True Blood. She went escalating through years of putting her work out there. She was in Lovecraft Country, exceptional actress. And there was a moment when he was in his acceptance speech, which it was both tragic, awkward to watch. It was a process. We were all stunned. He was crying because I think he realized what he had done. And that's why he makes that little quip at the end where he says, I hope I'm invited back. Because, not for nothing, they do have a particular protocol that people need to follow guidelines. You can't just do what you want. There's even protocols for the statue. You can't even sell the statue. If you are awarded the biggest prestigious statue of the United States, which is the Oscars, you are not to sell that thing. And they're infamous for not asking people back. So I think he realizes that. Not that this is the end of his career. These people are well to do, and I'm sure they'll do other projects. But to receive another accolade like this, and another important moment in time to perhaps do a redo, that may not be a possibility. Just because of one boneheaded, hot-headed situation, it's awful. Yeah, this is the article that ran today. The Academy condemns the actions of Mr. Smith at last night's show. A spokesperson for the organization said, we have officially started a formal review around the incident and will explore further action and consequences in accordance by our bylaws, standards of conduct, and California law. Oscar bosses are said to be split over whether to take the actor's trophy for his role in King Richard, because the assault breaks the new code of conduct drawn up by the Academy in the wake of the Me Too movement and appalling crimes of Harvey Weinstein. Despite being accused of shaming his profession and wrecking a historic moment when he became just the fifth black man to win an Oscar for male lead, he was mobbed by A-listers desperate to celebrate with him. And yeah, but now it's tainted. It's very much tainted. Again, I love Will. I think he had a moment, perhaps a meltdown or a breakdown. on public television that went global. This was global news. And it sullied the night, and it sullied all these other winners that now, sad to say, won't be remembered. I mean, of course, they have the actual physical proof of the statue, but their winning moment, you stole that from them for being hot-headed and not thinking things fully. I feel like he was, and at some future point, again, my suggestion is, please, I've never been one to shy away from therapy. I think that it's beneficial, and he should consult somebody, because I think there's more than meets the eye. I don't, that aggression, it just, to me, does not speak, oh, I'm just coming to defend my wife. There was something else there. There's another attachment there, something that has been festering for years, and it bubbled over with the pressure of what he was going to say. He knew that this moment is a time capsule of this time, of this time in his career. It was a big thing, and maybe it overwhelmed him, but it did not justify or give you a pass to put your hands on somebody else. So the only person here who genuinely will walk away winning is Chris. Regardless of people pampering you, coddling you, playing your music like as if you didn't do anything wrong, you assaulted him. And the injured party here is Chris. Again, I comics, again, they go for the jugular. I understand that. But you know that going in as well. That's just part of it. And again, you have to give also kudos to comedians. If we didn't have comedians at these shows, it would make for the most boringest of shows. If it was just literally category after category, some music, a couple of breaks. You need something to kind of have a cohesive thread to keep the show going, to keep it funny and alive. Not for nothing, it was a little boring before that happened. And because of it, oh my God, the ratings went through the roof because people couldn't believe what was happening. So, at the end of the day, I still don't believe anybody won here. Not even the producers or ABC. It really sullied the night. It really did. So, I don't really know what else to say other than you were in the wrong, Will. And whatever is going on with you and your wife is something that you should keep private. Perhaps consider that and seek therapy for that aggression, because it really, you lashed out. And I'm not putting that on him. I'm not saying that he's been aggressive his whole life, but I think something with that entanglement, it still haunts him to this day. And comparisons to Tupac and comparisons to Jada's, dating history. And again, we don't know. We don't even know what Will's dating past is, other than the fact that he was previously, I think, married to someone else before he married Jada. And that's why he has 3 children, because his first child is from his first marriage. Nonetheless, again, these are celebrities' lives, but again, I just wanted to make it a point that even though these people are not people that will affect our lives that way, but you did affect history. You did affect the potential growth of your own career and of other people that you should have been mindful of. Now, here's a question that I was also contemplating. Are comedians more expendable in comparison to our actors? Because even though essentially comics are actors, but just with like that comic spin, and can they always transition from comedy to drama? In certain cases, yes. Robin Williams was a perfect example of that, but it isn't necessarily something that everybody can do, and vice versa. Some actors can't transition into comedy like that. It really is like a particular music or tune that you need to know. You really need to know how to play to a room. But the way that Will was coddled and Chris was thrown by the wayside, that was really messed up. And it makes you think, so are comedians, comics expendable? and actors, because it had that been any or A-list actors, because had he been of the B list or the C list or been of some other category like sound, and he would have gone up there and smacked somebody like Chris Rock, would he have been left sitting there? And then it also comes into question too if it had been another race. I mean, there's millions of layers of how you can dissect this incident, but it just was not a win, and it was a loss for everyone involved, and also even for the family that he's representing in this film. Richard Williams. You're playing their father, Venus and Serena's father, and I'm sure that's not something that he wants to be connected to, especially when his drive was to strive for perfection for his family, and here you and do this. Again, I get it, and I'm not gonna beat a horse while it's down, but it's pretty bad. Well, anyway, I want to make those comments be known. I usually don't review award shows, but I just felt the need because it has so many great winning moments for the Latino community, for women, for people of color, and then this happened. Like, really? It's like, just as we're inching towards some level of success, what can be considered a level of success, and then you set us back 50 steps back. It's like, in just 5 seconds, that you couldn't just kept yourself sitting down or played it off. Just played it off. And again, a lot of people said you could have done the whole Solange thing. When, Solange got in Jay-Z's face and it went all down, but it was a security camera. It wasn't on global television. It wasn't known globally what had happened. It was essentially trickled down to everybody knowing, but it was not something that was placed on such a public platform. And at some future point, again, even though Chris did not want to press charges, he can sue you at some future point. There's just so many misses here. And at the end of the day, yeah, Chris will benefit because now he is known in these big comedy circles, and now you've just given material. And if you thought your life was bad before, now you're gonna really be the butt of jokes. Sorry, Will, but you really, we'll see how this plays out. God bless, but you really should have not gone there. You could have just addressed it in a much more classier way as opposed to putting your hands on someone. But again, that's easier said than done, and I'm not in that circumstance. I'm just a spectator, so don't crucify the spectator. Anyway, stay tuned. I'm still going to review a number of the shows that I've seen on Hulu and Netflix. I have to also binge a few, but I definitely want to come back with at least with Atlanta, because it has had 2 incredible episodes that are very interesting, and Atlanta never disappoints, I will say that. So stay tuned for that, and again, if you like what you see, give us a like, leave us a comment down below. Do you agree with my comments? Do you think that Will went too far, or did Chris have gone too far? Did this violence really need to occur? Also, if you like my channel, give a hit to our subscription button and the notification button so you could be notified of my next review, and then or commentary or haul. And stay tuned, y'all.
We had the kids' future plan before they were born.
And it's such a great film too. You should watch it. I think it's on Disney Plus. And it has this great song by Beyonce. It's a touching film. You really did an exceptional job, Will, but you really threw it by the wayside in like 5 seconds because of your temper. It's a remarkable film. In fact, when I watched it around Christmas time, I was going to review it and said this is a must watch, and it should be required watching in public schools across the nation. It's such a beautiful story. You should have seen their faces after that too. Venus and Serena, they were just like all of us. It was really unfortunate. Anyway, again, I don't want to depress y'all, but we will be back. And those are my opinions. All right. Till next time, y'all. XOXO. Nerdy Girl.